Begin your broadcast. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, so after class, basic class and object. Any question here before moving to next? So conditional expressions we'll check today. And when I say conditional expression, so there are many conditional expressions. Mainly this is present in uh, any object-oriented programming. We talk about C++ or Java, again, if you compare. In Python, well, also we have this conditional expression. So based on these conditions, we can simplify our data set that this data belongs to this specific condition. The second data belongs to this specific condition, and likewise we can check it. So that concept itself is a conditional expressions. Now within this conditional expressions, we have first if condition. This is only if condition. Okay. So if condition is passed, it will return you something. If condition is not true, then you won't get any return, any output, any print statement. Second is if else condition. So if it's true, then it will print this condition value. If this is true, then it will print this condition to value. So if this is false, automatically it switch to else case. These are like cases. Then we have nested if else. Nested if else within if you have many conditions, so that we can say a nested if else. Then fourth you have if else ladder statement. If else if ladder statement. We'll see all this example one by one. Now when I have just one condition to prove, right, I'm using if else condition. But suppose I have multiple element which I want to iterate using some iterative program. So if else condition will not be checking number of multiple elements, right? Suppose I have 10 elements to check. X equal to I have 10 different values. So if X is just having one value, I can put if else condition. If I have 10 or more than 5 or multiple elements, then if else condition, if I'm writing, I have to write so much line. And that's why here we are using two iterative statement, which is a for loop and then while loop. There's one single line difference between for loop and while loop. If number of element is known to me, I know that how many times I'm going to iterate, I can apply for loop there. But if that iteration is unknown to me, I don't know how many times I'm going to iterate any value, so I'll be using while loop there. There is do while loop also, which checks first the do condition, then it switch to while case. After this, two more are there. Break statement, and eighth one is a continuous statement. So break means if you want to break some of the cases in between. Okay, you don't want to execute the full code, you want to put some condition and you want to break that code. So the break is a specific statement within your programming terms, and after break there is a continuous statement. So if condition is failing, still it will continue. Here if condition is passing, still it will break. This two thing is very common in since C++ time. So we use this break and continuous. By the way, this 8 expression is available in all the programming languages just to handle your conditions. Now, if you see this in our IntelliJ program, so we'll create new class. And basic difference between class and object we know now. If I have just one requirement, some static information I want to print, then I will create an object. And if I want to instantiate multiple times my classes, right? I want to call my functions, my variable, my data members, then I will not be creating an object. I'll be creating a classes. So it depends on the application. I'll not say you should use class only or you should use object only. Based on the problem statement which we are receiving from the client or business, will be applying our logic. So currently, as we say, we are learning grammars of Scala. I'll create a new class here. Same thing, right click, new Scala class. So I'll recommend if you guys can also make your GitHub link. Okay, that is good for interview. You can pass your GitHub link in your resume also. That gives a good impression. Now Scala class name is conditional expressions or conditional if, I will tell. Once the class is written, then I'll give any value. Let's say I'll give marks. Well, marks is equal to 82, and this is integer. So right here integer. Then here we want to apply simple if loop. So syntax first we'll see. I'll write if, then within this bracket my condition will be there, and this condition is saying marks is, if this is greater than 90. Okay, if this is greater than 90, then what output this will return, that function or that if body I will write in this parenthesis. Remember the syntax again, I'll repeat. You have created the class, then you're creating one variable. Now it depends, you want to change the marks, you can make it where. If you don't want to change the marks, you can make it well. Mutability and immutability, that both concept we know. Now in this next line I'm writing the condition, if marks is more than 90, then only print me something, and that something I will write it here. Guy has scored grade A plus plus. Okay, so this thing here, syntax is more important than logic also. This is your conditional expression. If is a reserved keyword, I can call. So you can see this different color, right? If you can see my class name, this is a dark blue. This is a dark blue. This is all which you're getting in a dark blue. This is a reserved keyword. Reserved keyword means I cannot make them a variable or an identifier, right? So your reserved keywords cannot be created as a variable in any program. Now if is my one keyword, and within that bracket I'm writing the condition, and I'm saying if this condition is true, then print me this. But what if this is not true? Since I'm creating intentionally the condition which is going to false. Once this class is written, then if you want to write multiple things, you can write it down there, but that we'll see one by one. Currently I'm talking about the first condition only, which is if condition. I'll create object, and I'll say object con. Then if I want to write the diff main method, or I can extend app also, right? Both option we have seen it. So you can use interchangeably, and I'll be using interchangeably. Maybe I can use sometime here extends app or this one. So it is not making any difference with my program. Now I want to call this cond if. So what I'll have to do, I'll have to create one instance. This is like a same yesterday program. It's just that I have given one condition here. So what do you suggest me? shall I create one new instance using cond if class, or shall I directly create an anonymous function? So if I create c is equal to new cond if, this is my functions cond, here it is treated as a function, and this is my instantiated variable or object, since everything is object in Scala. So the C is one object, and I can access this cond if only with the reference of this, which is C. But since I want to just print one time, so this is better. Instead of calling, I'll call using both the operation. Then I can print this c dot marks. Sorry, this will directly access. So new condition. One second. Print this new condition if. Well, just comment this out and try to compile this code first. So once this is built it, this is printing the reference currently, new condition. One second, I'm taking this. New condition marks. So this is directly accessing the marks. I will do one thing just to execute this. I will keep this inside some function. So directly when I'm trying to run this cond if class, this is actually taking the reference of it. So to use this function, to use this condition, I will keep this inside my function. I'll create one function here, diff my result, and within this result I'll give this condition. So let's read the code first. I'm giving one variable, then I'm giving one condition, then I'm checking the marks. If this marks is true, I'm saying print me this value. Then I'm calling this function from here. Right click, enter. Now this will not return me anything. This will not return me anything because this condition is not true. This condition is failed. If you check this condition is not true. So if I make this return type, expression of type unit does not confirm to expect type is string. I'll have to create a if condition here. So why this is not returning anything, I hope this is clear. Marks is 82, but if you check this condition, this 90 is not less than 82. This 90 is more than 82, since the first condition itself is false. So it will never go to this print loop. It will never go to this statement in line number 8. This condition itself is failed. So directly it will go and return me the unit. Unit is known as a void type. This unit is a void type. which does not return anything. So, but what if this is 80 instead of 90? If you keep this value as 80, and then I'll check. So it is giving me the actual output, okay, which says guy has scored, you can see this output. Guy has scored grade A++, because I've just changed this condition. So what is the what is a good looping here? If you are creating expressions, you should always keep else condition. So if this is not true, let me keep this 92. If this is not true, then go to else condition. And by the way, this is coming within your function only, right? So we already know how to create a function. These functions, we'll see some of the functions, basic functions creation also. So this is the signature of any function syntax. Function syntax. And by the way, if you know Scala so well, 80% Python you by default know, because what syntax I'm going to write for function, for variable, this is exactly similar in Python. Now, function syntax is as follows: def, then def is definition, then your function name, any function name you can pass here, and after function name, then your different arguments. So let's say you have argument 1. What is their data type? Integer, string, float, long, boolean. Then as many number of argument as you want to give, you can pass it here, arguments to data underscore type. So this is just syntax. Instead of this, we'll write some actual data type. After that, what I'm writing after equal to, okay, so def is a define or definition, function name, arguments 1, arguments 2, along with the data type. This is the syntax to assign the data type for your argument. And after equal to, what I'll be writing here, this is the function body. What I'll be writing here, this is the function body. This is going to be the function body. So suppose, let's take one example. Suppose I want to create one function to calculate the area. I'm giving you a task. Create a function to calculate area. If this is the question, then before going to creating directly functions, what is more important? You have to think, what is this area? What is the mathematical expression of this area? Because if you don't know the logic of this area, then you cannot create a function, right? Now, if I know this area is calculated using basic math, this is length into width or breadth. So if I know this length and width combination, if I multiply this both using a dot product, then I'll get this area. If I know this logic, then I can create this function also. I'll create a function. Now, suppose from somewhere I get this, that this is the area formula. So as per signature, DEF you'll have to write. Then function name. This function name you can write anything, but be logical. So I'll write area. Now remember, if this is reserved keyword, if this is already defined by Scala in their library, this will not take. So when you get any syntax error, okay, which says that this is a result keyword and you are trying to create the function which is already created by Scala, it will not take it. In that case, what you can do, you can give area 1, then it will work. But I know that area is not a defined keyword, so I'll keep the same. How many argument is required here? You wanted to create 2 arguments, okay? And by the way, this is just a signature. If you're thinking, if I want to create a 3 argument, can I do that? You can definitely do that. You can create n number of arguments here based on your requirement. Since my requirement is only with 1 and 2, so I will say len colon, and this len is my argument number 1. What is the data type you think to calculate the area? This is double. And here sometime syntactically we make a mistake because we know this double is a type of a decimal value, and any data type which you are creating in a Scala, their first letter is always capital. So we'll make this double as this double, comma, length, and then width. Width is also going to be double. Can you make it different data type? Can you make it float? Yes, you can make it float also. So not necessary that both the data type has to be similar from similar name. It can have a different name. Though if you know double and float concept, they are from same family. Float is taking small range, which is 4 byte, and double is taking 8 byte, higher range. After that, close this. So let me keep this float here, okay? After this, equal to, this is going to be your function body. Now what is the function body for this area? This is the body, length and width. Simple. Now create this parenthesis and use this len into wid, Once I've given this function body, then you think what can be the data type for this area, because data type I have given for length, for width, but return type is still unknown. I have not given any return type here for area. Now one thing I will tell you, if you do not give, then as also Scala will not complain you. That's the beauty of a Scala. So sometimes many people say that code is not expressive because people stop writing this information since they know that Scala will take care of this internally. But what is the good coding style? You should always define these data types. You should always define this data type, that this area belongs to which data type. So here I'll put colon, and what can be the data type here? We'll think. Now this double is having 8 byte as range, and this float is having 4 byte as range. Now which one is a bigger? Double is bigger. So always this area will return you double here. In this case, whenever you create such function, always they're going to return you the 8 byte. This is not only applicable for double or float. If you're doing integer and long, it will return you long, because long has a major range or big range. So this is one simple syntax and creation of the function. Then we have many statement here, that default argument, how can we do method overloading, method overriding. Those will come in a polymorphism. Polymorphism is a object oriented programming pillars. So here, what is our takeaway? How to create the function. That's the takeaway, and I'm talking about this point because I have introduced one function here with the name my underscore res. That's why. Okay. And currently this is returning me unit. This is not returning me anything. So this will check the condition. If any condition is true, it will return me. If condition is false, it won't return me. That was only with if condition. And this is your function body, by the way, right? What I have written within the parenthesis, this is the function body with this parenthesis. and this parenthesis. Whatever I'm writing within this, that's going to be the function body. So it will check first this body, and based on that body, it will return me the output for this function. Now, why we are creating functions? Because to make to make our code more usable, if I'm not writing function, and suppose I want to check for multiple people, let's say I have a result of 10 people, then if I'm creating one function, using that one function, I can test it for all the people, that what is their grade in their last year school uh, annual report. Okay, so function is good for reusability. Function provides us reusability on the code. That's what I can say in simple English. So I'm reusing my code again and again. That's why I'm creating this function. Now, can I write a if condition here also? So I'll say if, and again if body. So within if I'll say print, or we'll give this person some name. Uh, Amit. Amit has scored grade A++. Amit has scored grade A. If I give this condition, then you know this. If my function, okay, let's read the code first. If I'm calling this again, so always we know my compilation will start from here, from main method. Now once compilation starts from here, it will go immediately to this new condition if. New is a keyword which I'm trying to create uh, using instantiation method. So new is for instance creation, and I have created one new function cond if. This is nothing but a function because I'm using the signature, and I'm calling from this anonymous function to my myris function, which is a part of class cond if. So as soon as this function is called over, okay, and if you want to debug this, currently this is just how many lines of code I have written, just 25 lines. Suppose you have written 2500 lines of code, then how can you debug this? If I keep my, so I'm using command option in my system, and if I use my cursor here, if I click on this, then immediately this takes me to the top, which means I know. So you guys can see in your machine control option maybe, or I don't know, in Windows I think there's command option, or that tab you can try. So if you just press that button and keep your cursor here, it suggests that this is a function. If you click here, then automatically it takes me there directly. So this is how we can debug the code, where it is going after this line, after next line, after very next line. And by the way, there is a debug point also you can set. So I'll tell you about this debug also uh, in a later course, where we can set our debug point. So I have written this code from 1 to 25. Maybe I want to set my debug from 10 to 20. So I can set that debug point, what this code is doing. Can I run this now? So Amit has scored grade A. Can I make this as a string? So if I'm making this a string, it is giving me unit. Let me handle this part. So I'm writing print statement, that's why they're giving me unit always, and you can see this bracket. This bracket means printing I'm getting, okay, output I'm getting as required, but I don't want to print this thing bracket. That's why I'm trying to manipulate this line. I'll say take the marks. So print here the actual value if the condition is true, which is marks, and marks. Now can I run this code again and check it? Uh, 82 I'm getting. Just a second. I will tell you how to remove this. Or since there is print statement, I'll be getting it. That's okay. But so I'm writing one marks statement here to tell me what's the total print plus marks. So if I right click here, I get the output that the else condition, this is true. Now this is if and this is if else. Now can I check with multiple if else condition, which is my third statement. Nested, before nested if else, I'll go to this fourth condition, if else if later statement. So if else if later statement means I'll change the condition slightly. I will say I'll comment this line. If you want to do multi-line comment in Scala, so single line comment we know using double slash. Multi-line comment I can get it from here. Slash star, and your code is getting over at this place. So within this program, let me write this separately. If you check this out, I have given slash star and star slash. This is like a multi-line comment. You want to comment 5 to 6 different lines. Okay. Now I want to create a separate condition here. I'll say if marks is more than equal to, one second, more than equal to more than equal to 90, and I'm going to use the logical operator also, and this is greater than 50, let's say. Okay, this is the marks, or maybe I'll take the different example this time. Let's say this is age I'm checking. So age 82 comes under which? This is greater than 0, and here your mark is, sorry, it should be age, by the way. Your age is less than 50. Then the statement of this, which I'll write in a print statement. I'll say print, and person is middle aged. Okay, if it is in between 0 to 50, person is middle aged. Then we'll say second condition. Now remember where this condition is over. So parenthesis open, sorry, close. This is open parenthesis. Then I'll give second statement, but this time I'm not giving only else statement. I'll give else if a statement. And here my second condition, if age is more than equal to, here also I can give can give like this. If age is more than 50 and age is less than 60, or maybe 65 I'll give. Okay, a condition I can give anything, that's up to me. Print a statement again. Person is retired from this service. Then third else if statement, if age is more than 65 and age is less than 85, then print me that this person is senior citizen. Person is a senior citizen. Okay, all the condition is given, but still one break condition, the base condition is not yet given. Whenever you type if, letter if else statement or any kind of a statement, last statement should be else always, because if none of the condition is true, then it should go to else. Currently you can see that this result is matching with else if condition, the third condition. That's why it will return me this person is a senior citizen. But what if the age is more than 85? Then it will never go inside my any of the condition. That's why to give a base condition, I'll give a last statement as else. So you can remember this point. Whenever you are writing such a conditional expression, there should be else statement for sure. If else is not there, then if condition is matching, it may run. If it is not matching, it will not run. And again, this is my else body, which says print person is young. Okay, if nothing is true, then also person is young. I'll keep this all thing inside my one function again. So to call this up, let me create a function. I'll say diff, then person age. I'll create a function name like this, pr_age. Now look, if you think you want to define this age at this place, that's your choice. But if you're thinking age can I define here, definitely you can do that also. Age integer, open bracket and close the bracket here. Okay, and you can pass this line. So you are deciding in this code. That's what I've said. When you're writing one business logic, there are n number of methods to achieve the same output. Exactly. Maybe I'm writing 100 lines of code to get the same output. You're writing 20 lines of code to get the same output. What is more impressive and appreciated? Obviously, the less line of code and optimized. So optimization, we'll see how to optimize this all things. Currently age I'm giving, but age value I have not given. Earlier this was hard coded that 82 is a value. Here I'm not giving any value. So where I can pass this, when I will call this function, then I'll pass this, not immediately. Can I go there and see? So let me remove this just to decrease the line of code. Condition is there. Now new condition, and what is my function name? My function name is per age. So I'll give here per_age. And look, if I forget sometime, let's say that what I'm missing, so it is clearly telling me if I read the whole code, I can see error in this line. Can you see there? My cursor, if you see, there's a red mark, and if I'm keeping my cursor there, it says me unspecified value parameters age, because age is not yet given. Now, since age is not yet given, how can they go to this condition? So let's compile this code again. First, if I read this code, it is taking me from this main method that we know. Always your compiler takes compile your code from this main method. Then as soon as this main method is executed, it will check this new anonymous function, which is cond if class. Then this anonymous function is calling my method, which is per underscore age. Then I'll use again command option in my system, command and this to tell me where this function has been created. I'll click on this, and then immediately this takes me to top. It is taking me here in this person age, and they're saying this age is not given. So can you pass it? You can pass it here also. This is your choice, but I don't want to write like this. I want to pass it runtime. So here I will write 82. And this is, guys, by the way, auto complete. Okay. Look, this age I have not given. This age I have not defined. You're saying before 82 there is a age written. This is taking by default. This is what is the autocomplete. This is missing in Eclipse. If you're doing this kind of operations in Eclipse, sometimes we are unable to understand how many argument we need to pass it. So coding in IntelliJ is fairly easy compared to Eclipse IDE. Right? Can I run this code now? Definitely this will work. There is no error, so I can go and compile this, and I know the output. Before running the code, I will tell you the output. This is going to be the output. And why this is going to be the output? Because this is the only condition which is satisfying both the cases. My first case, which is age is less than, age is greater than or equal to 65. So this age is 82 I'm passing, right? In my last line, I've given this 82 as, so this condition is true. But here this 82 is less than equal to 85. This condition is also true. Now what this AND operator says, this is nothing but an AND operator, by the way. So what this AND operator says, AND operator is saying, okay, AND operator is saying if both the condition is true, then only return me this print. If any of the condition is false, just like this. Okay, let's read it from here actually. 82 is greater than 0. This condition is true. But 82 is less than 50. That's not true. So this condition is fail. If one condition is failing, so this will never be printed, because that's the basic behavior of AND operator. We already have seen this in the syntax part. If both the condition is true, then only this will return me something. If any of the condition is failing, then it will not return me. And if I want to write a logic for just one condition true, then there is a OR operator, right? There's two pipe. There's a not operator also. We are going to see all of this. There's a not operator also. This is a not operator. Not means not taking that particular value and changing the value or opposing the value. Now first condition is true, second condition is failed, first condition is true, second is failed, first is also true, second is also true. So this will return me person is a senior citizen. Right click and enter. Compile this. You can see the output. Person is a senior citizen. But can I use a for loop here? Now for loop, while loop is created for loop, while loop is created for your multiple element, right? What do I mean by multiple element? I'm just passing one value here. For this age, I'm passing just 82. So when you have just one element, if condition, else condition, if else condition is better to write up. For loop, while loop is not. But what if I have age like this? Suppose I have age, and in this age variable, I have so many number. I have 82 also, I have 55 also, I have 30 also, I have 19 also, I have 95 also. I have 5 element, and this is nothing but all ages. So I want to check for 82 also, I want to check for 55, so on and so forth, till 95. Now, if you're writing if else condition for this, so you'll have to write 5 times more line than this. So since I'm checking for just one value, how many lines of code I have written? 31 lines, roughly. So on average, if for one condition I'm writing 31 lines, then for 5 condition I'll be writing 31 into 5 lines. Then how much? 5 and 155 lines of code. This is, you can definitely do that, but okay, but I'll not suggest you to write if else condition for all the things. For this kind of operations will be needing our loops. So this loop is for loop and while loop. We'll say this occurrences, when to use the for loop, when to use the while loop. Okay, so I think one point is clear: how to apply, when to apply, why to apply. We'll see nested if else condition. Okay, nested if else condition is little tricky. These are the fairly easy statement. I'm just writing one function calling this statement. This is a function body, by the way, to call up my function. Now I will again remove this line of thing. And by the way, all these expressions already I have written in my GitHub. So if you go to Scala practice and fun, most of the codes which I'm taking as example I have created here, for all related to Scala. So you can go and see this classes. I'll tell you for today, if you want to practice if else condition. Break 1, break 2. Okay, let me see. I'll see, and maybe I'll tell you then later which one is my if else condition. Now last thing for today, let's create one nested if else condition. Okay, so nested if else condition, I'll say uh, well EMI is equal to or maybe I'll say Sybil is equal to, somebody has a Sybil as 770. So I just want to know what can be the EMI for this person from a home loan department, from any bank, SBI, HDFC. And this is, by the way, integer. Then I'm giving condition if, and I said here, if Sybil is more than 0 and Sybil is less than 900, okay, which is, by the way, this both the condition is going to be true. I'll just try to revert this. I'll say this 900, then the person will get, I'll write the statement here, print person is eligible for EMI, and how much, that I will write it here as a separate. This is suppose 8.1. I'm just taking a random value. Then once this if condition is true, okay, the function is true, then you're writing another if statement. This once the if is true, you're writing another if statement. If so, once this is true, then only it goes inside this. And second condition is if Sybil is more than equal to 0 and the Sybil is less than equal to 850, then second print statement, which is person is eligible for EMI 8.3. Okay, I'll just make it this thing true first and not writing this statement. Person is eligible for EMI 8.3. Else print loan is rejected. Okay, then so where is my if thing is closing? I'll close this complete if thing right here. This is one if condition which will open here and close it here. So this is one entire body, and within this if condition I'm writing this thing. Okay, within this if condition I'm writing this condition. This is a part of this first condition. So when this first condition is true, then and then only it will go inside this. If this itself is failing, then it will never go there and just print me else. Print loan is approved, but loan is approved with higher EMI. Okay, and closing this class. So let's read this nested if else condition. What do I mean by nested if else? I'm writing first one condition, which is this. Then if this condition is true, then I'm saying take me inside the body. And what is that body? This body is telling me if this is true, then take me to this first condition, which is saying Sybil is greater than equal to 0, which is true because Sybil I have given as 770. In second value, this Sybil is greater than equal to 850, which is not true because 770 is not greater than 850. Since this is not true, it will not print me this statement. It will immediately go and print me this statement, which is else, and say loan is rejected. What if this both the condition is not true? What if this if my this value is not going inside this loop itself? Because this function body will execute only when this first seventh line is true. So if this seventh line is true, then only this is going inside this loop. If this is itself is failing, then it will immediately print me this else statement. So I have given this else, okay, I have given this else condition for this if, and I have given this else condition for this if. I'll check both the cases quickly. Since my value is 770 currently, so it is passing this condition, it is going inside this loop and check for the first if condition. This is what nested if else. This part is a nested if part of this if, right? Then Sybil 0 and Sybil is 850. This condition is filled, that's why it will not print me this will print me loan is rejected. Answer of this is going to be loan is rejected. So before compiling, if you can read up this code, you will understand what you will be getting. I'll call this new, then condition if function sign dot. Do I have created any function? Let me create a function here. Diff is equal to bank or home loan. This is my function name, home loan. So when we try to relate with a real-time example, things are more clear. Close this body. So function body is done, Sibyl is there, and this will call the home loan. Shall we run this? Loan is rejected. Perfect. So why are we getting loan is rejected? Because it is going to this condition. Now suppose this condition itself is failed. The first condition itself is failed. Okay, let me change, just revert this. I'm just giving this less than equal to, and this is failing. So if this is failing, it will not go to the body of this. If it will immediately print me loan is approved with higher AMI. So this condition will pass now. So these are the basic sentiments of your if else, nested if else, and if letter statement. You can see the output here, what this has printed. For loop and while loop will start tomorrow.